Hello, my name is Fox and you're watching Den of Fools. Let's jump right in. In week 41 of 2023, we had 119 tournaments with a total of 2,465 players and 9,980 games played. This week the Space Marines topped the charts with 26 wins and a massive 76 top 3 placings. Their weighted placing is 13.5, which is much better than the 70.4 they got last week. They must have had a bad week last time out, as there are over 150 more Space Marine players this week compared to last. In theory, this should make it more difficult for them to get a good weighted placing, showing just how well they did this week in terms of winning tournaments. Last week's winner, Chaos Space Marines, come next, with 17 wins and 25 top 3 placings. Their weighted placing is 8, the second best overall. Chaos Space Marines get more wins and a better weighted placing than the 9.1 they got last week. They are continuing to show good form, although they didn't get the best weighted placing this time out. That honour goes to the Eldari, who have 15 wins and a weighted placing of 7.3. Even though they didn't get as many wins as the factions ahead of them, this could easily be explained by them being more popular, especially when you compare them with the Loyalist Marines. The Tau come next with 8 wins and a weighted placing of 13.5. There were quite a few more tournaments this week, which has allowed them to get a few more wins and improve their weighted placing. The Death Guard are the last faction in blue with 7 wins and a weighted placing of 12.4, the third best overall. The vast majority of their results do come from the smaller tournaments, but it's good to see them do well considering where they were. The Orcs topped the green group with 6 wins and a weighted placing of 15.3. This score is very similar to last week, although they have dropped out of the blue group, mainly because the factions ahead of them were more successful. The Necrons come next with 6 wins and a weighted placing of 22.2, the highest in the green group. This is the first time in a while they've dropped out of the blue group, losing a bit of their consistency. They still have a relatively good result overall. The Leagues of Votann get 4 wins, 16 top 3 places, and a weighted placing of 13.8, a solid result for them. Custodes, Knights and Thousand Sons are the last factions in green, all getting 4 wins and 9 top 3 placings. The Thousand Sons do better in terms of weighted placing with 15.5 compared to Custodes 16.5 and Knights 19.3. I must say I am a little surprised that Custodes and Imperial Knights have managed to get in the green group, considering they have been struggling over the past few weeks. Having said that, nearly all of their results did come from the smaller tournaments. The Tyranids have a surprisingly rough week with 3 wins and a weighted placing of 46, compared to the 9 wins and weighted placing of 15.3 they got last week. There has been plenty of time for players to work out the best units and detachments from their 10th edition codex, so I am a little surprised their tournament wins are still fluctuating considerably. A special mention to the Adeptus Sororitas, who won the biggest tournament this week, GW's 291-player US Open Tampa. Their weighted placing of 16.3 is also a lot better than the other factions in yellow. 25 factions managed at least one top 10 placing, with the Space Marines getting the most top 10s with a massive 221. Eldari were in second with 82 top 10 placings, followed by Tyranids in third with 74 top 10 placings. Chaos Space Marines have dropped down to fourth, but they were only beaten to third by a single top 10 placing. Unsurprisingly, the Space Marines are the most played faction with 20.65% of all players taking them. Tyranids are the second most popular faction on 7.95%, followed by Chaos Space Marines in third on 6.25%. The fact that Eldari got more top 10 placings than the 3 factions ahead of them demonstrates how strong they are at the moment. It takes our resident stats guru and Ultramarine fanboy Fearless Fox many hours to collect all the data. It would be great if you could show your appreciation by liking and sharing the video. It really helps us with the God algorithm of YouTube. We have grouped the win rates by colour, with the key at the bottom of the screen. As the factions ahead of them did not have a lot of players, Eldari remain at the top with a win rate of 57.1%. The Orcs and Leagues of Votann come next, both getting a win rate of 54%. The Orcs get a very similar win rate to last week, with the Votann dropping down a little bit. The third most popular faction, Chaos Space Marines, get a win rate of 53.6%, which is a significant decrease from the 58.5% they got last week. They did perform better in terms of winning tournaments, even with a slightly lower win rate. The Genestealer Cult see a slightly improved win rate with 51.8%, although they struggle to convert this into tournament wins. The World Eaters also get a win rate of 51.8%, including the third place finish at the US Open Tampa. We will be covering GW's US Open Tampa in our next tournament spotlight. Although Chaos Knights see a slight decrease in their win rate, they are still performing well with 50.4%. I asked last week why do you think they are doing so well, and I have to thank our viewers for letting me know it is due to their War Dogs and their spam ability. The Death Guard, the last full faction in green, backing up the third best weighted placing with a win rate of 50.3%. They seem to be solidly mid-table now, which I'm sure has pleased a lot of Death Guard players. The Tau just miss out on green with a win rate of 49.8%, which is a slight improvement on last week. The Grey Knights are one of the factions struggling the most at the moment, in my opinion. They got the worst win rate last week with 41.5%, but have seen a significant improvement this time out with a win rate of 49.2%. The most popular faction, Space Marines, come next with a win rate of 48%. Stay tuned till later on in the video to see how the individual chapters performed. The Imperial Knights managed to get in the Goldilocks zone this week with a win rate of 47.8%. The second most popular faction, Tyranny, is the last faction in the Goldilocks zone with a win rate of 45.8%. There are 7 full factions below the Goldilocks zone. Surprisingly, this includes Thousand Sons and Necrons, who get a win rate of 44.9% and 44.7% respectively. Special mention to Sisters, who only managed a win rate of 43.2%, despite winning the biggest tournament this week. The Eldari remain at the top with a win rate of 57.9%. Chaos Space Marines remain in second place with a win rate of 53.1%. It looks like they are holding on to second for the time being. The Orcs are close behind in third with a win rate of 52.9%. They managed to stay ahead of the Leagues of Votan, who also improved their Leviathan Part 2 win rate. They are now on 52.3%. The Tau are on a win rate of 51.6%. They are falling behind the factions in front of them, who are performing slightly better than Tau at the moment. Chaos Knights and World Eaters both improved slightly, with a win rate of 50.9% and 50.6% respectively. The Death Guard are very close to the Green Group, with a win rate of 49.5%. The third most popular faction, Necrons, are tied with Chaos Demons. They both have a win rate of 47.7%. The second most popular faction, Tyrannies, get a win rate of 47.1%, with the most popular faction, Space Marines, on a win rate of 46.6%. We do have one less faction below the Goldilocks zone, with the Grey Knights managing to get 45.3% after their good week. As the chapters in blue only have a few players, this week the second most popular chapter, the Black Templars, topped the win rate with an impressive 58.7%. They have had a very good week, with the best win rate compared to all other factions. It'll be interesting to see how the Space Marine Codex changes affect them specifically. I would estimate they will still be strong, as their unique units are quite competitive at the moment, and they're not changing for the foreseeable future. The Iron Hands are the first chapter in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 52.5%. The Space Wolves top the other group with a win rate of 49.5%, followed by the Imperial Fists on a 49% win rate. My Blood Angels have had a much better week, with 47.7% compared to the 38.1% they got last week. The most popular chapter, the Dark Angels, are the last in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 46.3%. The third most popular chapter, the Ultramarines, are just below the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 44.7%. The Salamanders get a win rate of 42.6%, with the Death Watch on a win rate of 41.4%. We are only 1 week out until we start to see results with the new Space Marine Codex. It'll be interesting to see how the win rates change, but I would estimate it is more likely to go up rather than down for the majority of chapters. The second most popular chapter, the Black Templars, improve their lead at the top of the Leviathan Part 2 win rates with 53.3%. The Space Wolves top the yellow group with a win rate of 49.4%. The Iron Hands get a win rate of 48.2%, with the Death Watch on a win rate of 47.8%. The most popular chapter, the Dark Angels, get a 45.7% win rate, followed by the Blood Angels on 45.3%. Fearless's favourite Blue Boys and the third most popular chapter, the Ultramarines, are the last chapter in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 45.2%. The Imperial Fists have a win rate of 44.2%, followed by Salamanders on 43.2%. The Raven Guard are the last chapter in yellow, with a win rate of 40.9%. The White Scars are the only chapter in red, with a win rate of 29.7%. This week, the majority of the Chaos Space Marine warbands are unknown, so we go straight into Leviathan so far. The Red Corsairs top the win rates with 63.4%, followed by the Alpha Legion with a win rate of 59.7%. The most popular warband, the Black Legion, got a win rate of 53.4%, followed by the Word Bearers with a win rate of 52.9%. The Emperor's Children are the last Legion in green with a 50% win rate. The Iron Warriors have a win rate of 48.4%, followed by the Night Lords with a win rate of 47.4%. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe, check out one of the videos on screen, and consider using our affiliate links in the description. Thank you for watching.